What's up, guys? Welcome back. This is another episode of the Supraliminal Spotlight show, and today we are featuring episode 13, none other than Jazz June himself.
Hello.
Let's go.
What's up?
W's in the chat.
Chat. W's in the chat.
Oh, throw it up. Oh, man.
No, I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you did the set.
Thank you.
It was funny that we were supposed to do it last month, and it actually worked out that, it didn't. It was poetic that it didn't work out last month because we got you on the June episode.
Jazz June and June, baby.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
I know people probably were like, damn, these guys are so intentional. It's like, no, things just didn't work last month.
That was a serendipitous cosmic alignment that just happened to be.
Hey,
Yeah.
thank y'all for having me. I've always watched y'all's stuff, and
Hell yeah, dude.
I've always looked up to you guys. Not being a native of here, but just seeing y'all do your thing over the years, I'm super thrilled to be here. So.
Hell yeah. Is that the obligatory thing when you go on a pod? You got to be like, love your guys' stuff?
No,
No, I'm not saying you don't. I'm not, but like people like, never seen an episode. They're like, I love your guys.
No, but you've seen my YouTube comments.
No, I know. You're in there. You're in there. And I'm glad you're here.
But I know what you're saying,
It's
though.
a super cool thing to do.
But it's funny. That's actually the first question I wanted to segue into. That, I mean, I don't know if everyone knows or how often you tell people that you're not a San Diego native. So let's kind of get into that. And
Yeah.
a little background.
How'd you end up in San Diego?
Dude, I visited here in 2017 during Comic-Con,
Oh,
and my friend, one of my lifelong friends, Adam, I've known him since we were kids, but he lived out here because he was in the Navy. He's out of the Navy now, but I was like, oh, I'm going to go to San Diego and visit him. And when I was out there, dude, I was just like, yo, like,
you liked it?
fuck yes. I was like, this place is beautiful. It's such a nice change of pace from Florida. And especially like being a military kid, I was always moving all the time. So Florida was the first place where I spent a profound amount of my like young teenage/young adulthood.
Oh, like most of your like roots are there, like of experiencing life, not as like a child.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so,
Damn.
like,
Are the Florida man memes true?
hey, yo.
Oh yeah, where in Florida where are you from?
Jacksonville, Jaguars, Duval. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me stop. But yeah, so,
So it was Jackson.
Yeah,
my brother was stationed there.
Really?
Like the mid 2000s.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he was in the Navy.
yeah, I mean, it's a military town, retirement town. Just like Jacksonville's cool. I'm not gonna hate on you guys. I love y'all. I mean, obviously, I'm from there. I mean, it's I think what made Jacksonville special for me was the friendships I made that I still have now. That like having a sick group of friends for that long in your life, like you can't trade that for anything.
Those are some lifers, I'm sure, right? Like you're still in contact.
Oh yeah, day ones.
And I think that's cool to have like friends like out of state. I feel like that. Like I never lived in Portland, but I have like a good amount of homies in Portland, and it's kind of just cool like having it's like legit. A friend circle or like friends like outside of like where you live is pretty cool. Like knowing you could go there and like you're not just like a
legit
alone.
Family.
Yeah, see, that's cool.
But pertaining to your question about the Florida man, I mean, look, yes, I mean,
yes,
there's some crazy shit out there.
dude.
I mean, I feel like if you're in Florida, you're just bound to see some shit.
Of course, man.
I mean, it don't even have to be a human. Like, I saw a duck eating another duck.
That's insane.
And I don't know if that's normal.
Duck cannibalism?
Duck,
yes.
Duck on duck crime.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's
some Florida shit.
That is some.
I don't know if that's Florida shit, or just alligators just hanging out.
That too.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah.
They got big ass snakes and shit too, right?
Yeah, water moccasins, you know what I'm saying? Like
The Everglades. That's where the Everglades is at, right?
Yeah, that's in Tampa, but yeah.
Yeah, in Florida. Fuck, yeah. Damn.
Wait. Okay.
Oh, he said
I don't even want to say so.
He said water moccasins, not the shoes. Wet ass leather. Just wearing those in the water.
But yeah, I mean, but Florida is like has a lot of different vibes. Obviously, like Miami has like
But that's pretty far from Jacksonville, right?
Yeah,
like
it is
hours away.
But
right?
just speaking about Florida in general, like it has different vibes. Jacksonville is like I'd say laid back, very country.
Yeah.
Some aspects, and then there's certain parts of it that's very turned up. Like, you know what I'm saying? We talking
Miami.
We talking a little ratchet. You know, a little,
Oh yeah.
get a little nasty out there.
Let's go.
But it's Yeah, I like Florida. Just the weather's intense. Hurricanes.
Yeah, it's not like out here.
Yeah,
we're lucky out here. I mean, we pay for it.
It's we do pay for it.
Yeah, but yeah.
That's funny because I wanted to bring up too, like how it's funny how I met you and how things went full circle. That I was working at the vape and smoke shop, and he was just like a regular that would come in. I'm pretty sure one day I was like making beats on my laptop.
So to my knowledge, I wouldn't be surprised because I was there often. I lived down the street from you. That was in Chula Vista, Otay Lakes.
Yeah.
I went in there. I don't know. I remember my first memory was when you had Nujabes on when I walked in.
Oh yeah, I was always.
And then we started geeking about Nujabes and then anime, and then I think we added each other on IG. And then I remember like,
I didn't know this story.
Yeah, it was crazy. So then I remember when the lockdown was happening, and I was like, I need to go to the vape shop because I don't know what's about to happen.
We were closed, but I was in there.
Yeah, he was in there like going in and out, like it just like.
Yeah, I was like, I got you. I'll bring it to the.
Yeah, so he just brought it to to the door and like
slide his card through the mail.
It was intense.
Yeah, that's how it was during COVID.
Wow.
Yeah,
like if you weren't a regular, we were just like
yeah.
I was just holding it down so people didn't think the shop was empty. But if it was like a regular, I'd be like, I got you. Just tell me what you want. I'll ring you up, and then I'll put your card and slide it.
They have like one of those like square sliding things, like.
Dude, I think I just like went to the door and then like he just held me down. So thank you. I appreciate it. Those were crazy times because he didn't know what the fuck was going on. There was no toilet paper.
Kenji holding it down in COVID
at the vape shop. I got you some juice, bro.
Double barrel root beer.
Wow, I didn't know the origin story. That's
what I remember being interested because. That was kind of before you knew like a lot of people in SD.
No, facts.
And shouts out Adrian, baby brother. I remember one time, I think he mentioned you or you were on like a lineup on one of his shows, and I was like, oh shit, like, damn, like we got like mutuals, and then
that was my first show ever in my life. Like,
let's talk about that, like kind of breaking into the San Diego scene and how it was meeting people in the music scene.
I mean, like for me, I've always been so used to making music on my own and shit. So literally, when I moved across the country, I drove by myself and I just had all my shit with me, and then. Honestly, moving out here inspired me so much. It just gave me a whole new, like... maybe it's because, like, since I had less people I knew, I had more time just to make music and shit.
Yeah. Like soaking in the experience.
Kind of locked in.
Yeah. So I was just living life and then just making it into art. And then, I'd say, like, 2019 going into COVID, I met Rick Rao because I was on IG Live showing off my vinyls. And then, because it was COVID, and he was like, yo, you want to like play some vinyls and hang out? And I was like, yeah, sure. So that was like my first entrance into knowing anyone because he's from here.
Yeah.
And then
shout out
to Rick Rao.
Nice. I was actually gonna ask about that relationship you had with him, and then Cyber Esme.
Yeah, so Cyber Esme actually was my first. He still is my first video editor I've ever had, and I actually found him online. And I was just like, yo, your edits are cool. He was way in Michigan, but that was just how it was during COVID.
Yeah.
So then I would just. Pretty much with my my homeboy Lewis. Actually, Lewis was my first friend when I moved here, but he wasn't into music. We just loved Tyler Creator, and we went to Flognaw together all the time. So he lives way up in Escondido, but yeah. So what was I trying to say? So anyway, Cyber Esme, like Lewis would just help me film. We'd go film, and then we just started making videos, and it was fun. And then
so you were filming all this stuff and then sending it to this dude in Michigan.
Yeah. And then we get on Discord and legit just like I'd be like, I want this like this, or let's try to do that. You know.
Oh, and he was doing it like on the spot. He's like sharing his screen and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's super cool.
So we were just collabing, and then we ended up becoming really close friends. And I met him like over like 4 or 5 times. Since then, he's came to San Diego and stayed with me, and we filmed.
Shit, hell yeah, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
tight.
Yeah,
because when I was like doing my research, I was like seeing a lot of videos that would be shot by Rick Rao, I think, and then edited by, and then it always had their names on it. I was like, oh, these videos were sick.
Yeah,
they were cool.
Yeah. So the funny story was, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
because like that was super fun because pretty much for my 30th birthday, my parents had bought me a green screen setup.
Oh, nice.
So Rick,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so Rick just allowed me to film at his place, and then that was our first time experimenting with green screen, but that took it to a whole nother place.
Started doing weird stuff, huh?
Yeah, we were having too much fun with it.
Yeah.
You know?
You could tell you're having fun.
He's laughing because he's been wanting to get a green screen for a long ass time.
Trying to be in Land of the Lost.
I know we could be in like Lord of the Rings background right now.
The Shire behind us.
The Shire.
I'd be like, Frodo, drop it.
Making everyone feel all cozy at home.
It's like sorry, not to go off tangent, but it's like a funny memory I have of you at the vape shop is when you like early in San Diego and we were just shooting the shit and you were like, dude, I went to East County for the first time. And you're like, that's a different San Diego.
Like, Santee?
Yeah. You said you went to East County, you went to Santee. I remember you saying that. You're like, dude, I didn't know San Diego had shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was weird because I went there for Halloween. I wanted to get a fucking...
Oh, God.
I went there to get a fucking outfit because I was going to the Hard Rock for this fucking...
No hate on Santee, it's just different.
No, this policeman followed me out when I was...
He's got a nick.
No way.
Yeah, policeman followed me.
At the store?
No, like after I left, I was like, why is this policeman just tailing me but not doing anything? And then as I take the exit to leave Santee, he just leaves. I was like, am I being paranoid or is he just tailing me like for 5 minutes?
He was like, this is one of the 50 black people in Santee, follow this guy.
I granted at the time I had a Florida tag, so I don't know if he was...
Oh, like, maybe. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I don't want to just be like...
Yeah, over there, benefit of the doubt goes very low.
Especially,
I don't know. That's just like a funny thing I remember you mentioning because I was like, oh yeah, you got no business in Santee, dog. Like I don't go to Santee for nothing.
Yeah.
The last time I was there, it was for a drug test for a job, and then even the people in there were like, so like, what do you like? What job is it for? And like,
damn, mind your business, bitch.
Yeah, it was weird because like it was my first time. Like I stone cold stopped smoking weed, and then I was so proud of my sample. Like I was like,
you're like this.
Oh, you're just so confident.
Yeah, I was like, take all that shit. Like, so
it's all overflowing and wet. You're like, damn.
So like she's like holding it but asking me, and I'm just like, that's so weird. But anyways,
she's like, that is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's mad weird.
Just holding it, talking to you.
Yeah. It was weird. I was like, can I just leave now? Like
that is
just
weird.
Like fidgeting with it. So,
so what are you doing later?
Yeah,
I was literally about to go.
Such a healthy sample.
Wow, that's wild.
98 degrees. Awesome. We like that.
Oh yeah, it has to be like a specific temperature, right? But I ask all of our guests. This is my reoccurring segment question, and this is pretty open ended. So, what's your like oldest music memory? It doesn't have to be about like making music. Maybe like music your parents played, shit you listened to when you were a kid, stuff you listened to when you're friend. Like what's an old memory you just have of like music that just really resonates with you?
Oh man, hearing "Golden Lady" by Stevie Wonder while we were like, obviously being a military kid, you're always traveling every 3 years, so we were just driving across the country. And back then, obviously, we didn't have fucking cell phones, so I was like always looking at my dad with this big ass map, and I'm nervous. Like, are we gonna get lost? Because like this map looks crazy.
Those
like,
maps are intimidating.
Yeah,
for real.
But like that music, like Stevie Wonder's music,
I was playing in the whip.
Yeah, man, and that shit really was like real relaxing.
Felt like it spoke to you.
Yeah, dude. Still to this day,
I love Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, you can't.
Would you say that's kind of like one of those like a moment of realization of like music being like
you love this,
like you, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it was funny too because what drew me in was weird. It was like I was always like, as a really young kid, once I finally realized what chords were, I was like, okay, that's what I've been geeking out about as a kid. Because like those soulful ass piano chords, I was always obsessed with it, but I didn't really know what I was listening to.
Yeah, exactly.
But then that transitioned into what was my first album my parents ever let me buy. Because like they were super strict, so like you can't listen to nothing with like derogatory music, like nothing. Like
not even edited versions.
It had to be clean.
Okay, yeah. My mom did that for a little bit in elementary school too.
So for me,
parental advisories.
Yeah. So for me, it was I think it was in My Mind by Pharrell was my first CD I ever owned, and that album was fucking crazy.
Yeah, and that's the one that like edited like is not even that different.
Yeah,
like so
it was like maybe a couple cuss words. I think Pusha T or Malice was on one song.
Yeah.
Stay with me. They did.
The beats are just crazy.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and then like
that's a great first buy.
Well, as a kid, because like you don't like Pharrell's production. I would say like Pharrell and Timbaland when you're young, or like. I've never heard drums like this.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like boom bap. It wasn't like the corny 2000s drums. Like it had that like crazy bounce and like weird percussion sounds.
Yeah,
and
it was so fresh for its time. Like it's
hard
not to gravitate.
Yeah, it holds up still. Like you listen to Pharrell's beats.
Timeless.
Yeah.
It was just so colorful to me at the time because like, I mean, I'm still like super imaginative and always imagining things, but like as a kid, it's like, yo, like this is like I can't even fathom what I was listening to, really.
Yeah,
you feel me? Like it was kind of crazy. So that was I think that was my first album my parents let me buy.
Nice.
And that was like kind of like my introduction. I still didn't know I wanted to make music until like a little later.
Yeah.
I actually started making music out of spite because
Your villain origin story.
I sucked at band. I couldn't read music, so the band teacher kicked me out.
Oh, damn.
And she wasn't really patient with me and trying to learn.
What were you playing?
I wanted to learn the trumpet.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Villain origin story right there.
You were just trying to like
Trump
jam,
is
though.
like-
You weren't really. Were you not trying to like fuck whatever they wanted to
I
play?
was literally going home after school and like trying to understand the notes, but it just didn't really.
I mean, it's learning another language, essentially.
Yeah.
It's so hard to grasp like early on.
Yeah.
And I think
struggled
I would
with that
say
too.
like I know a lot of people like thrive learning in school, but I like when I learned piano, like I had like one-on-one lessons every Saturday. It was like a much easier to learn that way than I feel like going to class. Even if you went every day, like you don't like there's no one to like. I guess you can hold you accountable because they kicked you out. But like, you know, like when I was taking piano lessons, like my mom would like watch over me every day, make sure I was doing I had like a kitchen timer on the top.
Yeah.
I feel like that way so
The stakes
much.
were higher.
Yeah. I couldn't go outside to play skate with my homies like in elementary school until I was done with my lesson. Like that way like forces you to learn. But like when it's in like a public school setting or even a private school setting, like maybe it's not. Like it doesn't click as easy versus like you being right next to someone. Like they're like the band teacher has to show a whole classroom playing different instruments.
Yeah, like she has
They can only do
They don't have time for you to like. So if you're not catching on, it's like, hey, like you gotta.
Hey, chat. L's in the chat.
Yeah.
You know.
So when was that? Was that in high school?
No, that was way like
Middle school?
Before middle. I think it was like fucking maybe 5th grade.
Oh shit! So at that time you were already thinking like, fuck this, I'm gonna make some beats then.
Yeah, I just didn't have the fucking. I had a keyboard, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But I just wanted to do something. But then once kind of the computers and technology started to kind of start to
more accessible to everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I downloaded this really old music software called Pianito, which is some super old shit, dude. It's like
Was that even for making beats, or was it more for like
A piano roll.
yeah, but it had like this really like crappy like 8-bit
stock
drums.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know,
Like stock loops.
Yeah.
and so then me and my friend Jeff at the time we made a group called Sonata Productions.
Sonata Productions. Moonlight Sonata.
Yeah, Moonlight.
And then we were just making a lot of video game beats and shit.
Moonlight.
And he was actually in band, so working with him actually helped me get better at just learning how to just make beats in general. So that was nice to have someone to. But yeah, that was kind of how it started.
Nice.
Initially. Anyways, I don't want to go on a tangent.
No. That I mean, dude, we're here for that because I mean, I've never. We want to know like what kind of got you into that. That's interesting. What was the first? When did you feel like you were really like, oh, like I'm really making some cool musical shit? Was it at that time, or did it take a while before you thought you were making like dope stuff?
I don't think it's.
It's kind of a hard question because I feel like I barely
like,
started making good music like a few years ago.
No, legit. Like, I think my beats were getting better like around 2012, 2013. I was making beats when I first got my first beat pad, which was the Machine Micro, and then I just started working with native instruments since then. But when I finally learned, because I've always wanted to sample, I always wanted to chop.
You're still using Machine?
Yeah. I just have like more native instruments equipment now.
Okay.
Nice.
But yeah, so freaking, I think once I finally like learned how to like I've always wanted to chop. I was like, I just really want to make a fucking boom bap beat so bad. And like,
chop up a soul sample.
Yeah, just make some shit I like and shit. And then when I finally figured that out, and then I was like, okay. And then once I kind of figured out the workflow, and I was like, all right, well, what about song structure? Like, how do I go from like
get an intro to a hook?
Yeah, and then a fucking bridge, and then all that. So
because making loops is easy at that. Like I felt like that too. I'm sure you felt like that too when you were first making beats. Like you make a 4-bar loop, you're like, this is sick, and you're like, okay, now what? Yeah, like now what?
Just stuck there, and you're like, okay, well that was it.
Yeah, make another loop.
Yeah, make another loop.
So that's to answer your question.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like, to be honest, I feel like I'm my biggest critic. So maybe I feel like maybe when I finally started releasing music, I was just finally like happy with it and like felt comfortable enough to put it out.
Yeah.
I think that was my biggest issue. Hence why I fuck with Van Gogh so much, because it's like he waited so long. He never really put out much of his stuff till it was gone, and I was like, I don't want to be like Van Gogh and just be like, I wish I could have put this out.
Yeah.
We've
talked about that before on here. I think we like amongst ourselves and
cut your ear off.
Yeah, well, I cut my ear off and shit.
That's what would have happened if you didn't drop off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I refuse to ever want to feel. That's how, I mean, even before I moved to San Diego, I was like, damn, like looking back, like I couldn't even fucking imagine if I didn't move here. Then I would have been in Florida, still thinking like, damn, like what would have happened if I didn't?
Yeah.
And then you'll be in that loop of like regret.
You know what? This is a good place to, maybe you can have some words of wisdom, because we've talked about this before. Like, you gotta like put it out. Like, I know every artist has been like, this year I'm gonna drop some shit. And then the year passes and you don't do it. And then like the next, it's like really easy to get in that loop. Like, what is your like, how do you let go and say, you know what, this is done, I'm gonna put this out?
Well, I used to be a lot slower with releases. I mean, my first full release ever was a project called Duality, and I put that out September of 2020. And that album really wasn't like, it had some moments in it, but it was really bloated. But it felt good to actually put out something and, just be like, I did it, And there was definitely a point at that time when I was just like, because it's like making music is like you're fucking constipated and you're just loading up all this junk, and it's like
it does feel like that
when you finally like put it out. There's a sense of relief there,
for sure.
And even if you look at the toilet and be like, I don't know if that was like the best,
the best shit,
but like, but you feel a relief.
It deserved to go down.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I mean,
that's a crazy analogy, but
it makes sense, right?
It does.
That's a strong metaphor.
Yeah. So like I guess for me, it's like after Duality, I was just like creating like crazy, because I had so many ideas, especially during COVID, because like Duality was like beginning of COVID, and then I was already working on my next project, Fantastic Jazztastic Machine, and I was working on that all through from Duality coming out all the way until 2022 when I finally put it out. But I was just putting out singles and videos and having fun during that time.
Yeah.
And then I think there was a moment when I made FPM and certain other things, I was like, I think I know where I want to go with this. And then I already had like the narrative.
Carve out your sound. You feel like.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so like for me, that was like the moment where I already had the story I wanted to narrate and stuff, because I never really created my own world before. I didn't do that in Duality. But Fantastic Jazztastic, I felt like it was thanks to my engineer from Boston, Sean Over. He's actually going to be out here in a week. He's going to stay with me.
Nice.
Hang out.
Awesome.
But my engineer, like, really, we both had a lot of time, and he really sat there on Discord with me, and we
help you like curate.
Yeah, we'll just like really mix every project and just help create the narrative as close as I could.
Nice.
And that was like really beautiful. Just to
shouts out. That's awesome.
Yeah, so thank you, Over, for real, because that was a lot.
And I feel like since then, like your music and the projects that you've been dropping, there's definitely this essence of it being like told like a story, and the songs will go through like different emotional kind of, like different, you got some housey like fun stuff, and then it'll like chill out to something more mellow, and it's like it feels very story-like. And then so I've noticed that, and that's a cool trademark to have, because I've always thought like making music is like telling like little stories, so like making that a theme in your projects, to me, that stood out to me instantly. And I feel like artists like appreciate when it's not just like a collection of songs. It's like it feels like they all.
It's like a curated mix.
Yeah, like it goes with like the course of a day or seasons or whatever the time is. It you can feel like the changes.
I agree.
Like that. That's super awesome. I love that.
I gotta ask you about that night in Riverside.
Night in the what?
That night in Riverside.
Night in the river.
Ooh. I don't know.
Night in the river.
That night in Riverside.
Night in Riverside?
Oh, that night in Riverside. September. Oh, man. I can't remember. That was like one of the first, that's when I first got my audio interface. And when I lived out here, and I was talking about Riverside, Jacksonville, I was talking about this girl named Bleep. And,
We'll clip that out.
she was watching. She was watching me karaoke, and I was doing NERD. Everybody knows. And like I was just infatuated with her. She was like she was super cool, but we just were in two different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
But that was your muse right then.
Yeah. Like she was really cool, but like I felt like, especially back in the days, like dude, like it was really just I don't know. What's your question?
Spit it out.
So basically, how comfortable were you with releasing that as your like first video format?
Oh man, actually on my YouTube,
if you do a time lapse and you go from that to now, you're like, fuck is this person?
Oh no, like it's funny. I should have left it up. I privated some older videos.
Yeah.
Like my first video I ever put out was called La Jolla, and I filmed it over in the little La Jolla Hills, and it was like the people were paragliding behind.
Oh yeah, that's the cliffs. Yeah,
and I should have just left it up, but my ex-girlfriend was in the video, and I was like, this is awkward.
Hey man,
hey, there ain't nothing wrong with private.
It's a time lapse. It was a time lapse. It was a space and time.
Yeah,
time lapse the face out too.
Yeah, right, true. But yeah, so like that night at Riverside was really just. It was so funny because it was just like. I was just having fun with my friend. I was like, my friend Adam, and we were just making so much goofy music and just like not giving a fuck. And it was like it was a really fun time because it showed me like don't take yourself too seriously, have fun. And I think that led to cooler things later in life, just having fun. But yeah, that night at Riverside, pretty cringy if I look back at it.
It's really easy to look back at your old music.
Are you happy that you left it up?
Yeah, because I feel like if people, I mean, there's been people that have DM'd me and like over the years, and they just been like, "Yo, like it's so cool seeing like you from here, and like you're I can see where you're improving and like where you're like, So I like to keep certain things up just because,
kind of shows like your evolution.
Yeah, I'm not no fucking industry plant or nothing like that.
There's regular people out here.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's something very like likable about. Having like your vulnerable old work up for people to critique, and then and then it creates that nice A and B of you're like, damn, like you have physical evidence of your growth on audio or camera, and that's
for sure.
I like that. I think that's real.
Technically, it's not physical.
It's still tangible.
Tangible.
You know what?
No, it's not. Okay, I'm not gonna.
But yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, this is actual, literally going like action. And thank you for bringing that up because I was like, damn, I forgot about that song. I was like, that night at Riverside. I was like,
what is he talking about?
Yeah. I was like,
sparked up a whole memory.
Off of that segue, how did Men at Mars come to be?
Oh, Men from Mars. Oh,
my bad, Men from Mars. Yeah.
So basically, my friend Francis G. So Francis G found me during Jazztastic Machine because he DM'd me. He's like, yo, that song That's Bugged is really dope. I was like, oh, thanks. And then I was like, he just kept messaging me, and like, I was like, okay.
Is he not from San Diego?
No, he lives in Vegas.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so, well, he originally lived in Atlanta, but yeah, he's an R&B singer, and he also produces, but I noticed he never put anything out. So I was like, bro, like, you got some fire R&B here. Like, why the fuck aren't you putting this shit out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then, like, I just helped him, like, I helped him, like, yo, this is how you can put out your shit through here, through there.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, because I truly believe in Francis. That man has a voice of a god. I've met him multiple times.
Isn't that amazing? You'll meet people like that, and they're like, "Oh, well, I never released it."
Yeah, dude.
We're like, put it out, dog.
Yeah,
like
so like me and him were just talking on the phone one day, and I was like, "Man, it'd be sick if we made a group called Men from Mars because we're both like big Kid Cudi fans." And it was just like pretty simple, like, yo, like Cudi took it to the moon, let's take it to Mars type shit.
That's dope. I love that name, Men from Mars.
Yeah, and
he's like, we're going way farther than the moon.
Yeah, like, so we've been working hard for over a year on this project, and like we've made so many cool tunes and stuff, and it's been so cool just meeting him and filming with him. I've flown to Vegas just to support his R&B videos and stuff, and just
that's awesome.
Dude, it's cool that you're so open, like meeting people that are not in like your hometown and like really like networking with people outside of it.
Yeah,
that's
like
huge.
that's a big testament to like your artistic, not only like your ability, but like your open mindedness to, and like your like your grit to like really stick with this, like to reach out to people that you believe in. Like,
no, like legit.
You, that's awesome.
No, thank you. Like legit, bro. Like I just love to see other people succeed, man. Like you guys are killing it. Like even my friends that are out here DJing, like I remember when it was just one gig, now they got residencies, they're doing well. Like I just love to just see people do well.
Love to see that growth, man.
Yeah,
that's
it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
we need more people like that because I think it's almost it's kind of ironic that sometimes the biggest advocates for like the San Diego scene are people not from San Diego.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I feel like I've seen that like more than several times. People who are not from SD but like love this shit and really push. I'm like, damn, people, if you're from here, like we gotta be pushing it.
Yeah, I think San Diego creates like a lot of jadedness in that regard.
A little,
yeah. Like, you're just so used to.
Yeah, but when you're not from it and coming from like somewhere like Jacksonville to like San Diego, where I think when you've seen the. Maybe not saying the grass wasn't green there, but like you came to like where there's a lot of creatives, a lot of hip bars and restaurants and places, a lot of creative people. Like the scene's a little bit different. So I think
it's a lot thicker out here. Pause.
That's the first pause ever.
We can keep it going.
Well, resume. But yeah, like you're like creatively out here. Yeah, man. Like I remember like the first time I even went to like a San Diego show, like I think that's where I met DJ Root, and he happened to be at a show for this rapper named Slick D, which he's from Vegas, but I've listened to Slick D since I was in high school, and he just happened to be up in fucking Mira Mesa at a brewery rapping.
Oh shit!
And I even owned his merch way back when I lived in Florida, so I was like, I gotta meet him.
That's so cool.
And like
awesome.
I met Root there, and I was so nervous. I went up to Root, I didn't know who he was. Like, dude, I'm nervous. I want to meet Slick D, and he just like, just go say what's up to him and shit, but. So, like, you know, I feel like there's a lot of sick, like Rick Scales is fire. There's so many fucking fire people out here. I don't want to, like, miss anyone, but
you're good.
There's just a lot of really, really talented peeps out here that are from here, including you guys. And
we're all right.
I think it's...
We skating by.
All right. I was like...
What?
No, I said we're all right.
Yeah. Shut up! Right. What the hell?
Yeah.
All right, let me stop. I'm be all.
Nah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's awesome. Like what you're doing here. You know, experimenting, DJing. You're out here making beats. You're out here rapping. You're out here singing.
I mean, I'm trying, dude. I mean, like I know my beats are always been my strong suit. I feel like if I was like an NBA slider, like the slider stat thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I know my production's there. I'm still figuring out my voice and everything. But DJing wise, I mean, I'm blessed that I have a group of friends that DJ and always invite me to come. I'm still learning myself. Mm-hmm. I definitely just need to get myself like an actual nice like thing and just zone in at home.
But you can hear it. Like I was looking like at your like what it says on Spotify. Like you can hear it in your production. Like I knew as soon as I heard your stuff, I was like, this guy is for sure a fan of like Odd Future back then. The creator. I can hear like the Nujabes influence. I can hear the Pharrell influence. I can hear like the Kanye influence. Like all that stuff. Like you hear it in your music.
That means a lot.
And that's like a cool thing to like be able to. I thought that stuff before today was actually I was reading the bio on your Spotify.
Oh, okay.
I was like, dude, I did hear that in your production.
Yeah.
Like a lot of different styles. But that leads me to the question I wanted to ask. And you kind of touched on it. I know you said beats feel like your strong suit, but how do you balance like your production and like rapping and like singing on like your own stuff? Because you're seeing the vision. Like most people I would say who rap or sing are not the ones making their beats, where you're kind of doing a lot of it in house, where it's like your vision from beat to singing, rapping, like all that stuff. Like how do you like balance that, or what's your process?
Dude, I mean, literally, I always start off just. I feel like it's very rare that I just start writing shit. Like, I know there's been times where I'm on my break at work and I'm just feeling the type of way. I'll just start writing shit.
Yeah.
But usually the beat always comes first. The sound comes first. And then whatever emotion the beat pulls out of me, I go.
I love that. See, that's awesome.
I pull the concept there. And then I feel like usually I just like start chanting while I'm making a beat. Like I start thinking. My mind starts racing. Like I know when I have remember that Spirit Soldier beat? Like yeah. When I made that beat, dude, I was already like thinking like about just like I was already just thinking about
it's like the melody of how it's
like you're kind of starting to hum stuff.
Yeah,
like you're starting to like,
and then then like in my head, like I was already thinking about the video. So when I put out the video,
damn, you're so forward on it.
Well, it's just in my head. I'm already
but that's such a cool vision to be able to like have like your mind is just flowing with creativity. You're like, oh, like just from making a beat that you're thinking about bars, you're thinking about a video. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's weird how it is. I don't really know how to. It's just
it lends to that like story aspect too. It seems like that's how you go about like a song is like a. And
it makes it cohesive.
Yeah.
It's weird because like it's funny because Spirit Soldier, the first half I recorded, and then the second half I recorded like maybe 5-6 months later, and that was like the longest I've took to maybe finish a song.
Oh wow!
But then I had lived so much life, I was finally able to come back and kind of get back into like to finishing the song.
Were you not listening to it at that time, or would you come back occasionally, or did you come back to it going like, damn, I forgot about this?
It was more so like I came back and listened to it, but then I started chopping up more melodies, and then I added more to the beat, and then that's when I was just like, oh, cool, like this is cool.
Yeah, that's funny because remember we were talking about that off camera when I showed you that beat, and I was like, dude, I made this like years ago, and I just revamped it, and you're like, dude, isn't that like a good feeling? Like when you pull up some old stuff, and you're like, damn, I gotta get back on this. Like, this is a good idea.
And you already had your stems, right? Like
I had the whole project.
Perfect.
But that's cool that like I think a lot of people could go back on their projects that maybe they thought were going to be scrapped or they thought were like not great. And then you go back and you're like, damn, why did I not finish this? Like, this is sick.
It's weird, man. Making music, I feel like, there's no like set boundaries or anything.
Absolutely
like,
not.
It's literally
all you have to do is plant that initial seed. Sometimes the seed like flourishes into something like that day and like you're super inspired. Sometimes you start that thing and it's like a year later you come back, you change like one aspect and then now it's alive. You really don't know, but it's like as long as you're planting a bunch of those seeds, that's
that happened the other day. Remember when we were here and like I had like a beat I pulled up, I was showing Steven and I was like, I'm like whatever on it, and then I like changed just the keyboard patch and then you're like that just changed the entire beat. Everything's the same. The drums are the same, melody is the same, but just a different keyboard patch. And you're like, oh, sometimes it just take a break. Yeah. Come back if it's a month, a couple days, a year, 2 years.
Oh, legit.
Yeah. Like, you never know, man.
But there was also the flip side where you come back and you're like, damn, that was trash. That's why I stopped working on it.
5 seconds in, you're like, yeah, never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah, that belongs there.
It's a process. It's a process.
No, but you're a creative mind. Like I love the way, like hearing the way that you're formulating. I don't even want to say it's formulating because you're doing a lot of it kind of on the fly.
Like I think the thing is for me, I overthink a lot. So when I'm making something I like, I just started thinking about every fucking.
Hey, that's the classic.
I don't know.
Musician is just. I think every musician is an overthinker because, like you said before, like I think you said it off camera, like you're your own worst critic. Like it's easy to be your own worst critic when you care about this shit. I think we can all agree, right? Like you're your own worst critic. Like we're all like, it takes that. Like that's why you got to have a good camp around you of people that will be like, you're overthinking it. Like this is good.
Yeah.
I mean, like even for me, like I know we were talking about like cohesiveness and stuff, but I'm working on so much stuff. I just wanted to put out like a collection of songs for once in my life. So I just put out something the other day just cause.
Yeah.
And it was really more of like I put out my first beat tape ever, which is crazy to think about. I put out a beat tape called Sounds of Silence February, March.
Stream that, run it.
Yeah, some cool beats on there, like for real.
Bandcamp him.
Yeah. And, I finally felt, it was a moment in life where I was like, I don't really have nothing to say,
There's
for once.
That.
Yeah.
Put out the beats.
Yeah.
And it was weird because I was just like, damn, this is weird. And I legit felt like as much as, we all make music so often, there was a moment where I was just like, damn, like, I think I'm fucking just going to play Monster Hunter until I'm inspired again.
Yeah.
Because, wait, what are you doing?
You playing Rise?
Oh, I play Rise on my Switch, but I got Monster Hunter World, or what? Not Worlds. Wilds on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
No. Dual Blades all day, or Inside Glaive.
We got to run that.
Bro, that's the set.
Holla at me.
Inside Glaive, that's what I was running.
That's the set.
We be glaving, but
you hit that combo in the air. You feel so cool, like
that flip
down.
That flip.
And then you land on top, and then you're just like stabbing the shit out of him.
and then you do the pole dance.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, like
no free ads, no free ads.
Yeah, Capcom, what's up? But yeah, so anyways, you know, there's nothing wrong with taking a break, and I've talked to Francis and other artists about it. I was like, yeah, dude, I just don't have the spark right now, and then I take my time, and then all it takes is one beat, and then it's just like boom, boom, and boom, and
I think artists do really need to give themselves grace when it comes to that, because
For sure.
like there's this like underlying notion that you should just like be able to walk into your music environment and like create every single time, and if you don't, then that means you're not good enough. But it's like it absolutely just kind of goes with the flows of life, you know, like you have to have things happen to you in life in order to get inspired, in order to make the next cool
You
thing.
know what's interesting about that? Pharrell you've probably seen the video. I don't know if you've seen it, Steven, where Pharrell kind of talked about creativeness being like a portal to the universe. I may be butchering it a little bit, but I'm going to talk about how I interpreted what he was saying. Where like it's like a library, and there's times where like you might check out a book that we're like not into, but sometimes you'll check out something you love. Like you're kind of just picking from these parts in your brain, and you're not supposed to love everything you make. And the same way, like if you went to a library and just like picked a book, you might be like, "Damn, this book was trash."
No,
But you might pick a book and be like, "This was amazing."
Legit.
That's kind of like how he, you know, talked about
cool,
like.
yeah.
You know, that we're borrowing ideas from the universe.
Yeah.
He made it really deep, but that was like,
I need to know what universe, because I put out a project last year called Joyless Jazzifer Volume 2, and I can't even listen to it. I don't even know who that person is.
Yeah,
And
that you don't like it, or you just different.
I was just in a really I was very dark project, and I just listened
like
to
it feels like a different person.
Absolutely. I mean, it was. I was in the worst state in my life. I was like, I can't listen to that no more. I don't know what universe that was from, but
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about music too, is that it timestamps like where like you can listen to that song and like instantly all like you flash back, you recall like what was going on in your life at that time, and that alone can like modify how you feel about the music.
I feel like you guys, maybe like you three more than myself, because you guys all do vocal stuff as well. I feel like I don't feel like that as much with beats, because I only make beats, but you three I think have a good opinion on like what kind of music you're putting out and words that you're speaking during a dark time. Sometimes because I'll go a beat, maybe I was going through a dark time, like I couldn't tell you what I was going through at that time.
Right.
But like, you guys have like vocals that kind of like quantify what you were going through at that time.
Especially if you're like, you know, and most artists do. It's like if you're gonna inject your vocals into it, it's more often than not like about like what's going on in your life, because it's like that's where that comes from. But
do you have tracks that you've planted emotions in?
all the time.
Where,
I mean, but like the Joyless Jazzifer series is literally. I came up with this other name.
Sick name.
Yeah, dude. It was so funny I came up with it, but a lot of people have been like, Jazzifer, is this like some Lucifer shit? And I'm like, what? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Me and my friend were literally high playing video games. He's like,
let me get
Jazzifer sounds kind of cool. So then I was just like, oh, my Kid Cudi, Jazzifer. Like, it just sounds cool. But like,
that does.
So like, I just made it like a series of like tracks that are just, just not my usual. Just, I think I had to.
And alliteration always goes hard.
Dude, yeah.
The J's.
Oh, yeah.
J's like that, alliteration. Shout out.
have you ever implanted a memory in your song that like, and you've had it trigger you during a set?
Oh, man.
Oh, like when you're performing.
Yeah.
Because that's a different ball game. Because you could put it in there, and you set it out into the world knowing what it is, but then when you perform it in front of
you relive it.
You relive it over, and everyone's like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." But for you,
nah,
it's like a different.
I get what you're saying. Like, they might not realize that you're emotional performing it.
Oh yeah, like the fucking the show in the water. That was probably like that was hard to do. I don't know if you remember when we were at the waterfront. The water is the Chula Vista by the water.
Oh, yeah, the J Street one.
Yeah. I did a lot of like tracks that I probably shouldn't have performed live, but I just like felt like I just needed to like
get it out there.
Express myself.
That happens.
But yeah, for sure, that was. I mean, shit. Honestly, dude, at this point, I'm already past the point of like feeling like, oh, like I'm embarrassed people heard this. Like, dude, like y'all have seen me through the years. Y'all have heard some of my early shit. Like at this point, it's like. whatever.
It's life.
I'm living my truth, and that's my past truth. But you know what I'm saying? It's like it's my art, and I'm here to show y'all that hey, I was here. Like people have DM me and be like, hey, like, I'm so happy to see like you be this place, and then here you're here. So it's like I'm a fucking testament.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Exactly.
Like, hey, like we can make it through anything. You feel me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, I have I wanted to talk to you about the Colorful Dreams project because I remember you sent me the YouTube link for that before it came out, and you're like, dude, if you could like let me know how it sounds and everything. And I remember listening to that, and what like stuck out is like your mix of like, you know, using like, I don't know if you did it in the past as much, but it's like you had these like house music elements incorporated, and then also with the hip hop, it was like you were starting to fuse it, and it went cool with the storytelling because it's like you have your like badass cool like house beat moments where you're just like swagging out, and then you have like the soulful shit that like kind of reels you back in. Yeah, and it was like this cool like back and forth like like just talk to us about that shit.
I was bumping that shit today while I was working.
Dude, Colorful Dreams is like one of my most fun I've had because like. That was,
you mixed it and everything yourself.
Yeah, right? That's why I was so worried about it.
I remember you told me that.
Because like my engineer, you know, we all got lives. He lives way in Boston. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna just do my best to mix this by damn self in my apartment. And I had this whole idea of me going to sleep, and then I'm in like this like a talk show from the 60s or 70s.
That was so cool.
So I had Cyber Esme be like, "Oh, this is
he killed that.
Yeah, yo,
sick.
Yo, he sick. That was crazy. When he sent it to me, I was like, "How the fuck do you sound like a David Letterman or something?"
Yeah, he really tapped into that. It sounded so cool.
Yeah. So
I didn't know that's where that came from. That sounded legit.
Yeah. So I literally, dude, I don't know what to say. I mean, all right, I woke up at 3 a.m. I had a really bad dream and I couldn't sleep. So then this first track, Cold Wind Blows, I made that day. That morning that I couldn't sleep. And then I was just like, let me just make a whole project based off of me in a dream, but I'm with my team, with my band. And they're just with me through this whole dream here.
Yeah.
Cool. And
dream state vibes are always man.
And then man, it just came out really fun. That was a good healing process because coming off of Joel's Jazz for Volume 2, like I feel like I needed to like make something that made me feel good.
Yeah.
So like that was like I fucking love it. And I made that artwork too, but that was funny. I've had that artwork since like the Tumblr days, back when like vector art was in and little hipster days.
That's cool.
R.I.P. Tumblr.
It aged well.
Yeah.
It's super cool. And that style is like pretty popular again.
I know. So it's like
came full circle.
I went to my archive and I was like, oh shit. I mean, at the time I still had dreads, but I was like, I'm gonna use this. And
that one's sick.
Me and my editor just changed the font, and because I wasn't Jazz June as a kid, I was like Raph the Wizard or some stupid.
That's also that's kind of hard.
Kid Cudi shit.
Sorry, that's also hard.
No, because Kid Cudi, the Wizard, you know, the Wizard album, that was my shit.
Like the King Chip days.
Yo, I need smoke.
Mortal.
That's super cool.
Shit, bro.
It's crazy.
I love that project because like I love the way like Steven said it goes into like the housey elements, but you got like really like jazz chop, stuff.
I was really in the bag.
You were in the bag. Those beats are crazy. You produced that. You produced the whole album.
Yeah, everything's produced by me. That whole project I did.
It's
by
so
myself.
good.
Yeah.
It was a different vibe, man.
Yeah.
It's
I was impressed when you
it.
told me that was like your first like attempt at mixing a full project, and I was bumping it in my car. I was like, wow, man, like you like for somebody that doesn't have like the technical like background schooling or know how like that. I was like, dude, that was great.
I was bumping that today when I was working, and I remember listening to it when it came out, and I listened to it again. I'm like, it's almost better now. Like I'm like, dude, this
I
is
might have to bump it again.
Yeah,
like, I didn't think people were gonna like it because like literally like the song Dead Cool, like I had so much fun making that, but I knew people weren't gonna like Dead Cool because like You're Dead to Me is cool, but it was like literally just me. But it was just like I had fun making it.
Yeah,
because I saw the Deadpool movie.
Yeah,
and then I went home and then I made the beat, and the beat just real lighthearted with the strings, and I'm just like just vibing. I'm just like having fun, and I'm just talking about someone that's dead to me.
Yeah, you know who you are. You know exactly who you are.
Dude, I'm giving y'all so much clips. W chat. W clip chat. Sorry. All right, anyways.
Yeah, that I like that. And you know, it's something that As we're talking about like jazzy shit, like I feel like maybe people don't know, and I feel like I don't even know where did Jazz June come from?
Oh, dude. So Gwendolyn Brooks, she's a poet from Chicago. She's already passed away, but she was back in the 60s. She made a poem called We're Real Cool. And in the poem, she says, "We're real cool. We jazz do It's so hard because of the wording.
It's a tongue twister.
We're real cool. We're Jazz June. We die soon."
Oh, that's
yeah.
A little limerick for you.
Yeah, and she made the poem about her walking through the city back in the 60s. It was a summertime. All the kids are just turning up and just having fun.
Yeah.
She just made the poem from that. But when I read that, I was like, damn, man, Jazz June sounds so dope. And then I kind of just stuck with it. Like I made my IG handle back in 2013. So thankfully no one's.
Yeah.
But then come to find out, once I started like ending up on Reddit pages, people thought I took the name The Jazz June from the emo band that broke up like a decade ago. There's an emo band called The Jazz June that no longer makes music, but
never heard of them. Fuck them.
Their fans are triggered. They're like, I thought the band came back.
Oh, are you serious?
No way.
They see my name and they're just like, they thought.
They're all like downvoting you on Reddit. They're like,
hey,
This guy ain't it.
yeah.
That sounds like Reddit in a nutshell.
oh yeah.
Nah, but it's cool though. I mean,
Yeah, it's a sick name.
Shout out them. They disbanded though.
Yeah.
Shouts out them, but not their fans.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's okay. I mean,
My boy dirty like that.
For real.
yeah, you'll see like if you watch certain videos, I'll be like, it'll say Jazz June, and I'll put not the band.
No way.
Yeah, just a little slight little dig.
I can see him on Reddit clapping back like, but did you listen to me though? Did you at least give me a shout?
Hear them chops?
Yeah, did you hear them chops,
Hear
boy?
them chops? You know about that.
Yeah, so but anyways, yes,
No, that's cool. I wasn't sure if it was something from, like a deeper meaning or if it was, just
Yeah, I mean,
cool.
like, most people think it's like, oh, are you born in June? Or
I imagine you get that a lot.
yeah, but
You like jazz and are you born in June?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a playoff Larry.
Like the most
right.
like
It's
on
pretty,
the nose
pretty like obvious.
shit
like,
ever.
I'm born in October 3rd, Mean Girls Day, by the way.
Oh, shit.
Dude, that's a legendary birthday.
But yeah, that's how the name came, and really happy I stuck with that name. I felt like it just made sense. I'm just happy I kept it. I will forever keep it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a great name.
But yeah, I mean, again, I just want to thank you for coming on, being here with us. Like you're an awesome soul. You're an awesome person.
Oh,
like,
thank you, man.
Her
as well.
I know we all love interacting with you. People in the scene fuck with you. You're positive.
We
light.
need more Jazz Junes in the community because this dude
light.
loves the growth. He loves to see the people around him succeeding, and that's unfortunately in San Diego too. It's like there's not. Sometimes that's hard to come around, to be honest. Like
people aren't some haters.
Having some wholesome like support is great to see, and you provide that, man.
No, and you're always a ray of light. Like I remember when I ran into, was that last year at Waterfront? And I seen you at Little Italy. Wonderfront.
Dude, we got out the Uber. And
I was just like walking on the sidewalk.
And I was like, yo, Kenji, what the fuck?
Yeah, we hadn't seen each other for a while.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was so funny. It was so happen chance. Like,
and then we ran into each other again inside. And it's like, damn, that's crazy. Like, there's so much going on. And like to run into you twice in the same day. And
you guys are energetically aligned with like the smoke shop thing. And
yeah. It's just like
to see you.
Yeah. We gotta, the music, we'll make some, soon.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming out and being vulnerable. Performing, we love your music. Everyone's gonna love your music. Make sure you're following Jazz June. All his socials are going to be linked in the description. Make sure you're subscribed to Supraliminal. I probably should have told you earlier, but I'm sure if you're here, you already are. Make sure you like the video. Drop a comment. If you're here and didn't watch the set already,
go
cycle back, go watch that, and we love y'all.
Yep.
Shouts out.
I just put out a project called Jazztastic.
Oh shit, yeah. Plug your shit.
It'll be on streaming on the 27th. And I'm gonna be performing on Sunday at some coffee place. Sorry I don't got the name right, but but if you follow me on IG, you'll see where it's at. So anyways,
Jazz June on IG, people.
Yeah, it'll be like, yeah, sorry for not waiting for the plug. We always ask people, what are you doing? What are you doing? I just dropped the ball. I'm just
okay.
What is it?
You just
That's why I'm over here.
What is this guy doing? You see, the bad Jude, you usually sit here. So
Nah.
You're bad.
Don't roll in my way.
the feng shui is all weird. I'm in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
everything's
This was a good setup. I'm happy I wasn't in the middle. This is perfect.
Yeah, I'm glad. But again, shouts out Jazz June. We love the homie. Yeah. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Supraliminal signing out.